Hello, my name is Jori Tibergen. I'm the author of Crystal Space, and I'm going to show you a demonstration of my Ares editor. This is the fourth video blog entry about this project, but a lot has changed since the last time I showed you. So this time the editor is almost fully functional. You can make simple games with it. Of course, a lot still has to be done, but this is a good beginning. There are still a lot of bugs, so whenever I encounter one, I'm going to try to hide it from you, and hope you will not notice, so bear that in mind. So let's try to make a little game now. I'm only going to start from models that were made in Blender, so let's make a new project. So first we are going to choose a level. This is something I made, it's very simple. Now a few extra models and also a box and an old table. Now we also need to define where all the game logic that we are going to make goes, so I'm going to create a new file here and indicate that when the project saves, it should save these three things. I will explain later what that means. So add OK. So this is our room that I made. It's a simple room, nothing spectacular about it, but it serves its purpose as a demonstration place. So let's zoom in a bit. The game that I want to make is very simple. There's a door here and it's locked. The player has to find the key. That's about it. So let's first define our objects. At this moment there's not much we can do. We only have a player and the node, but node is not used yet. So we can already choose where to put the player. Let's place it here. And now we have to define the other object. We can do that here. So this is a screen that you normally only do once when you define the object. So let's make, for example, our door object, metal door. It's a bit dark, but you can see a preview of the door here. So now I'm going to define the physical attributes of this door. That means we use the bullet physics engine, and it has to know how big each object is and what kind of colliders are used. There is a fit button that I can press to automatically fit the collider to the geometry of the box. I'm going to make it a bit smaller because otherwise it's hard to fit the door in the door frame and it can get stuck otherwise. So I made it a bit smaller here. And I'm also going to add an attribute which indicates to the game that this door is meant to be opened and dragged, rotating around the y-axis. Okay. Now I'm going to add a hinge for that door. Oh, that's wrong. Invisible. It's an invisible object. It's not going to be visible while in the game, and it serves as a way for the game to know how to rotate the door. It's the hinge where the door actually rotates. I'm going to change this a bit. So, and we also make this static. The door can move, but we don't want the hinge to move, of course. That would not be very nice. And we are going to make a joint. That is something from the physics library. So we constrain the x, y, and the z axis, translation, and we also constrain rotation for x and z, but we leave the y rotation open, so the door can swing around the y-axis. Now we are going to make a few other objects. A key. New. It's a bit small, but you can see it. And we have a metal desk. I'm going to do it easy here and just make a big collider box for the entire desk. If you normally you would try to make collider boxes that fit the geometry better, but I'm not going to do that here. I'm also going to share it and an old table. This table was made by Rob Walker. Thanks for that. I'm also going to make a box, and the box has two parts. The main part and a lid. Now for the box we can't of course use a box collider, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to put anything in it. So we have a shortcut here where we can define a box. It automatically makes 5 collider boxes, so you can see them here. So you can put something inside it. Since this box is going to have a lid, we also need to define a hinge again, and this time it's going to rotate around the x-axis, and we constrain it from -1.5. This is in radians to 0 degrees. Now we are going to add the lid, and this is just a simple box. Okay, now we defined all the objects. We can start to try to place them in the world. Oh yes, I forgot. You can, of course, if you want, organize these things a bit better. For example, you can say dirty table, do edit category, furniture, and the metal desk is also furniture, and so on. But I'm not going to bother to organize all of them. So we have the metal desk. Let's put that one here. Rotate it a bit and then to there. And a share. So rotate. Like that. So that's okay. We are now going to try to place the door. It's a bit complicated because the door has to fit inside the frame without touching it, otherwise it will not rotate properly. So let's make the hinge first. So we try to put it as close to there but not inside it. Reset rotation, and so that fixes the rotation. Now I'm going to see it's a bit away from the wall, that's okay. I'm going to also raise it a bit so it's a bit away from the floor as well. So I think this should be good. Let's try it. If it's not good, we can always fix it. Now I'm going to add a door just at a random spot. I'm going to select both, snap them together, and then we join them. Okay, now we can try if this works. So I go to play mode, and this is as if we are in the game now. So I'm the player, there's the desk and the chair, so we can go to that, and I can grab objects in the game. But let's go to the door, see if it works. It seems to work, but it's a little bit, but it's good enough. I'm going to keep it at that. At least you can see that the door opens. I think it's stuck a bit on one side, but it's okay. So now let's go to the rest. Now we have to place the key somewhere. So I'm going to add a box there, storage box. Rotate it, and put it a bit there. And a key, we are going to put the key on top of the other. Move a bit closer, and then there's a strange bug that when an object, the box is static, the key will not fall in immediately, so I have to make it dynamic and then static again. So I don't know why that is, it's just a bug. Now the lid, again we select both, we snap and join the objects. see, oh, that didn't go well, so let's try it again. Snip. And okay, now it's better. It doesn't always react well the first time. Now in the other room, let's try to move to the other room. I'm going to put the old table. So like that. And that's presumably where the treasure is located. So now we have a world that works. Let's try to play it again. So we have the door. So the door. Okay. We have our box that I can try to open. Oops, it's not always that easy. And there's the key. Okay. Exit it. But now we need to define game logic. So first we go to the entity world. There are already two entities predefined. You have the world entity and the player entities. Later you will be able to edit things here, but at this moment the game is fixed to first person view. Now we are going to make an entity for the key. If I use the same name here as the name of the object before, then it will automatically be selected. So we are going to indicate to the game that this is an object that can be picked up. Pick up. It's a class. It's just a kind of setting, and now the game knows that this object can be picked up. We are going to add a property class, and we are going to make a quest. And let's give it a name. A quest is a basic building block for game logic. With quests you can do various things, and I will show you how the quest will be defined in this case. Pick up quest, and now we're going to edit it. So quest is a state machine, so let's make our first state in it, set default state, and so the quest will start in this state. We are now going to make a trigger, and the trigger will listen to the inventory of the player. So as soon as the player gets an object of type key, then you will give a message. So the game logic system is message based. This means that we can send messages to other entities, and one of the entities is the game controller, which is put in the world entity. So we are going to send a message to the world entity, and the message ID is this one. That means that the game controller should give a message to the user, to the player. And the parameters for these messages are this key could be the one that opens the door. So as soon as the player picks up the key, it will get this message. In addition, we are also going to open the door. Thus we do this with property. First I'm going to do something else. I must give the door a name so we can find it. We can do that here. I just going to name the door. Okay. And we also have to set a property on the door. So let's first make a door template. A store, create property. That we have to say Ares inhibit drag. It's a boolean property, and it's set to true. That means that even though the door allows dragging, we are going to inhibit it because the door is locked. Okay. Now we're going back to the key, edit quest, So you're going to change property of the entity door as inhibit drag, and we're going to set it to false. So now the door can be opened. Finish and new state finish. So as soon as this trigger fires, we go to the finish state and the quest will end. So that's the quest for the key. So now it should already work. Let's try it out. Play. So at this moment the door is locked. I can't open it. Let's open the box. And let's... oh! Didn't open it. Well, pick up the key. This key could be the one that opens the door. It was a bit quick, but... and now the door is indeed open. So, okay, let's do one other thing here. We are going to also set a property AresEd.info. This is a heavy metal door, and so the door has now some information. We are also going to add a quest on the door itself. I'm going to do it quickly now, just to demonstrate it. Door quest, edit, in new state, init, set default, create trigger. As soon as we get a message from the game controller, activate. As soon as the door is clicked, we are going to show a message to the user. Ground as controller message, new message, the door is locked, perhaps you need to find a key. And then in tree, create a state in tree. But we are going to make another trigger here. If property of this door changes, door AresEd inhibit drag. As soon as the inhibit drag property gets to false, we are going to the open state. Like that. And if the user has a create trigger, as soon as the user activates here, AresEd activate, create reward, message, ground as control message, new message, the door is still locked, and new state, we have to go back to the same state to make sure the trigger stays working, and also we create a change property trigger, door AresEd inhibit drag. As soon as it becomes false, we are going to the open state, like that, and here we create also a trigger. As soon as the user activates this door, AresEd activate, send a message, you use the key to unlock the door. And final state, finish, and create your new state, finish, like this. This is a bit more complex. You have 4 states here. Basically, we want the door to behave nicely if you click on it. So let's try it, and hopefully this works better. So if you now click on the door, first you can examine this. This is a heavy metal door. The door is locked. Perhaps you need to find the key. And if I click again, okay, let's go debug a bit. The second message isn't working. So that means that as soon as we come here, Ares activate. Okay, here we forgot to set these. Message Ares controller message, and now it should work. Let's try it. Click on the door. Door is locked. The door is still locked. Then we open this. You pick up the key. You use the key to unlock the door, and the door opens now, and we can go through. You see how it works now. Okay, this concludes the demonstration. There were a few things that didn't work as planned, but well, this is a project in development, and I hope that in future nicer things will follow. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.